Hello, beautifuls. This is Atleen, and this is part two of the next generation firewalls. The abbreviation is NGFW. The NGFW is a next generation firewall. The definition of the NGFW is that it's an application layer 7 firewall with additional security features. And we all know that it's always great to have additional security features for your network. So the additional features such as DPI, Deep Packet Inspection, Intrusion Prevention System, Encrypted Traffic Inspection. So these terms I would recommend for everyone to study to have a better understanding of the NGFW. This will be on the CCNA. Intrusion Prevention System is an application that sits in line with traffic, and it checks that traffic against a database of known threats. If a threat is detected, the offending packet will be dropped. Another term to know: encrypted traffic inspection, and it inspects encrypted traffic. DPI, Deep Packet Inspection. Deep Packet Inspection is insightful data about what percentage your bandwidth is coming in towards things like your things like your web browsing or your file transfers. It also has a signature of well-known attacks, which is why it is good to keep it up to date. All your data up to date. Always do updates. Very important. We discussed the history of firewalls yesterday, and we all know that the firewall is made to inspect. They do inspect. They will do next generation firewall. They will do the traditional firewall function, which is inspecting. So we are inspecting the traffic as it goes from the inside of a network to the outside of a network. That's what NGFW does, next generation firewalls. It does the same thing as a regular traditional firewall. However, that's why I put the DPI, IPS, encrypted traffic inspection on the board, because NGFW has these additional security features that goes above a traditional firewall. So once it goes in and out of the network, and when we see that the return traffic comes back in, we realize that this is not a malicious individual that's trying to attack us or go against us. We do this by memorizing. We memorize the IP address and the port numbers. So it's sort of like a communication flow. So one thing great about the studies I've done with the encrypted traffic inspection that was really, really impressive is that attackers, they're very smart, they're very clever, and just like we grow with technology, they grow with hacking. They grow with learning what we do to improve technology. And over the years, they've been very, very creative. So they know about these IP sensors, and they know that we're going to recognize the malicious intent, malicious traffic. So, but not if it's encrypted. So, if encrypted on the outside, and if it's decrypted on the inside, the sensors won't have, excuse me, any idea of maliciousness. This is how they think because they know all about our techniques. So what Cisco did was they have this technique now, and they also have other vendors that has over 99% of the encrypted traffic inspection. So we can detect and block the maliciousness that they have created over the years. So with the NGFW, next generation firewall, you don't really necessarily have to use it. You can always have a standalone appliance. Like for example, Cisco adaptive security appliance as a firewall. It maybe have a separate IP sensor as the malicious traffic inspector, and where these would sit in relation to your network, typically all the traffic coming in from the internet or any sort of other network you may consider untrusted. So for example,